That's why
We're going to mix it up a little differently tonight. We're going to start out with stand-up. Hope you all are ready. I'm a little nervous. I'm excited. This is my 10th time ever performing, and I'm really excited because, thank you very much. I've got my sister here. She's heard me do, I think, one joke in my life that she's the product of, and I wanted to kind of start there because the whole little story that I got with that is kind of the reason that I tell the jokes that I tell. I had a little experience when I was younger with my family that kind of traumatized me for the rest of my life. When I was 11 years old, in the middle of Lent, my mom thought it'd be a great idea to take me and my sister and younger brother and her two friends to go see Basic Instinct in the theater. Has anyone ever seen this movie? Okay, now, for those of you that have seen it, this is going to be a real quick recap for you. And for those of you that haven't, you'll get an idea of what I'm talking about when I go through this little quick synopsis. Alright, so, the movie Basic Instinct is about Sharon Stone, plays the character Catherine Trammell, who in the beginning scene, this is the whole movie plot. Beginning scene of the movie, she's having sex with a rock star boyfriend, opening scene. Just before brutally murdering him with an ice pick, to then turn to have sex with the detective in charge of the case, who actually, the detective at the same time is having sex with his therapist. The therapist actually used to sleep with Catherine Trammell in college, but Catherine actually prefers her lesbian roommate, Roxy. Roxy is tragically killed in a car accident, which leaves Sharon Stone and Michael Douglas to live happily ever after, and I quote, "Fuck like minks, raise rugrats, and live happily ever after." This is the plot of the movie. Now, I saw this when I was 11 with my younger brother. This is a little bit ridiculous. And I think that from that I was a little traumatized. I don't think my siblings were traumatized as much. My mom realized that the movie was kind of a bad thing. She didn't realize it quick enough, but when she caught on, her plan to get us to miss out on the grotesque, crazy sex scenes in the movie was to send us all out to the concession stand to get like pop and snacks during the movie. So my mom, who got us into this movie, like free matinee, Sunday, all my children in for free, ended up spending $197 on concessions, which is a little ridiculous. But before my mom realized what was going on, we had the opening scene in the movie. Comes out, Catherine Trammell, huge sex scene. And we're all sitting in the theater, and right away, Aladdin happened to be playing in the next theater. And right when it starts on, my mom turns over to my sister. She's like, "Kellyanne, did you want to go see Aladdin?" Kellyanne's like, "I'm okay." "Patrick, Matthew, do you guys want to go see Aladdin?" I'm like, "Mom, there's boobs on the screen. I don't even hear what you're saying right now." I'm like, "Matthew, do you want to go see Aladdin?" "Matthew. Matthew." And my younger brother is just sitting there like this. "Tell her I'm sleeping." But I really don't think anyone was traumatized at all by that. I know for a fact my sister was not. She's like the extreme example of, I don't want to say Miss Goody Two-Shoes, but she's definitely a sweetheart, one of the best females in the world. But she's so censored. She doesn't even like to swear. My sister sent me a text the other day. She's talking about how her students were pissing her off in class. She's like, "I don't understand what they're doing." WTH. Kellyanne, you don't need to censor an acronym, all right? My younger brother, the only reference I ever heard him say in the movie was he's into landscaping, he was talking to one of his landscaping clients, and she was like, "I don't understand what's with your generation. I don't know what's going on. What's with you guys, the whole shaving of the private areas?" And he's like, "Well, for the women, I think they just do it in case they're going to get interrogated by the police." Basic Instinct reference. "But for the guys, I can tell you what I tell my landscaping clients. If you trim your bushes, it makes your deck look bigger." I don't think anyone else is really affected though. My sister's friends were at the movie. They were there. None of them had any, side effects from the movie at all. Her friend Kelly, well, some of you might know at her other job where she goes by Candy. I don't know if you're aware of that at all. Some of my other influence, I don't know, some things I do. I like to watch a lot of CSI. I don't know if anyone out there likes CSI Vegas. It's the only one in the world. Alright, both of you. Awesome. But like, while I'm watching CSI, it's a Spike TV special. There's a lot of random commercials that are on, and I just want to talk to you a little bit about these commercials. First one, the shake weight. Has anyone seen that? It's becoming more and more popular nowadays, where all these women are on screen just smiling. Like, I don't really remember them smiling like that when I'm seeing that. And now they're coming out with the shake weight for guys, which I'm pretty sure guys don't need another exercise like that to do during the day. We've got that down. If that gets you to your ultimate peak, then I should be like, I don't know, on steroids. I would seem to be. I should be completely ripped by now. The other commercial I didn't really understand, I was watching, there was this herpes commercial that was about herpes prevention, herpes outbreak prevention. And after the list of all the side effects in the commercial, it said, please inform your doctor if you have kidney problems, liver problems, or advanced HIV. Now my thing is, if I have advanced HIV, I'm not going to sweat the herpes. I don't know. Probably not. What else about me? I'm a restaurant manager. I manage at Chang's in Edina. And part of the job I go in, I set up the restaurant. I was setting up the restaurant the other day. My bartender was there setting up, and we were flipping through the channels trying to figure out what to put on the TVs. And I flipped through and I noticed that Notebook was one of the movies that was on. So I'm like, Abby, oh my God, I'm not gonna lie, I love the movie The Notebook. And she's like, Patrick, I think you should lie. All right. And part of the job is to walk around, make sure that everyone's enjoying their dinner, having a good time. So I'm walking around and I get to overhear a lot of random conversations. And I overhear these two very attractive ladies having a conversation where one lady said to the other, you know, I heard if they have a deep voice, they're really well endowed. So a few minutes later, I walked over to the table and I said, how's your dinner? It's kind of weird though, because the girls were excited by that. One of them actually came up and asked me out after that, and I gotta keep the voice going, so if I actually want to go out with this girl, I have to keep the scary voice going throughout the whole night. And if I ever want to like propose sex, I gotta be like the crazy guy from Silence of the Lambs. Have you ever seen this? You know, the guy from Silence of the Lambs who like tucks it in and does his little dance. That guy. And at some point in the night, I gotta walk up and be like, would you fuck me? Alright, fuck me. That's just ridiculous. But I brought one of these girls home. And she ended up saying like the coolest thing I ever heard in my entire life. I brought her home and we just got done having sex. And she's up at the end of the bed, you know, getting dressed, catching her breath, obviously. And she looks at me, and this is the coolest thing I ever heard. She looks at me and she said, okay, I'm gonna go. Yeah. And I've actually had a woman come up to me after a show and say, Patrick, that one joke you tell about the girl saying I'm gonna go, is that really like the way you are? Is that really the way that you view women and what you want them to do? And I'm like, honey, no, not at all. I'd rather you get dressed in the hallway. Thank you very much. Now I guess the rest of my influence comes from my friend Johnny. My friend Johnny's a lot more vulgar than me. He's a little crazier than I am. He's a little more extreme. There's no lying in Johnny. I remember one time I was talking to him about going to McDonald's because I was excited for a salad that they came out with. I'm like, yeah, Johnny, I'm going to go and get this salad. After we're done with the show here, I'm really excited. He's like, Patrick, you're going to go to McDonald's for a salad. I said, yeah. It's like, that's like going to a hooker for a hug. What the hell? And Johnny and I were having a conversation about reincarnation one time. He's like, Patrick, if you were to die, what would you want to come back as? Like what do you think? I said, well, obviously a bird. I think everyone wants to come back as a bird. Wouldn't everyone like to fly? He's like, dude, everyone says bird. I don't want to come back as a dog. Don't you remember having a dog? Like, you used to sit on the couch, everyone comes over, everyone's happy to see him, they're all petting him, giving him love, they throw him table scraps, they get like a T-bone every once in a while. So he's like, you know what, I hope to God that if I die, I do come back as a dog, and I hope I have a really hot female owner, and hopefully she works at like Outback Steakhouse, and she comes in and throws me a T-bone every once in a while, and I hope to God that I'm not allergic to peanut butter. And Johnny got engaged a little while ago, and him and his fiance, they sent out a postcard to everyone, just make sure everyone knew what was going on. It said, save the date. And then Johnny, being the Johnny that he is, everything got a little screwed up. They kind of broke it off. But this fiance made sure that he let everyone know that it was broken off. She said, it's your responsibility. But Johnny's a little more vulgar than his fiance. So Johnny sent out a postcard. It said, make other fucking plans. Okay, that's that's my time. Thank you very much, everyone. Appreciate it.